Welcome to this session about objectives and key results, in short, OKRs. OKRs is a collaborative goal-setting tool and a framework to align teams and individuals around ambitious goals and help them navigate to achieve desired results or outcomes. Hello, my name is Sriraj Mallick, and I'm the CEO of InfoPro Learning, a workforce transformation company. I have worked for over 2 decades in areas of software, technology, learning, and development to help organizations in their evolution or transformation journeys. In my current role, I am the CEO of InfoPro Learning and excited to talk about our OKR platform, UnlockOKR. Today, in this session, I'm going to cover 3 points. First, I'm going to explain what is an OKR framework and what are its benefits, the 4 superpowers of OKR that transform the organization, and turning OKRs into operating system of your organization. So what is an OKR? To know more, I'm going to play this video. So crank up the volume and listen in.
OKRs were created to solve some of the biggest performance-related challenges for leadership teams. Outcomes for individuals are poorly defined. Lack of focus on what matters most. Communication downstream is inconsistent and slow, and several more. So, what makes OKR different than everything we're doing today? OKRs solve the biggest performance-related challenges for 3 main reasons. They break down silos to align on expectations and create clarity by creating a shared set of goals for your company, department, and team. These are called objectives. Every employee in the organization receives an individual action plan, which must be measurable and related to performance. These are called key results, and they ensure everyone is being held accountable. Put them together, and you've got our 3rd reason. When your entire organization aligns around a shared objective and personalized key results, it provides an intense focus on what matters most. To recap, OKR stands for Objective, Key Results. And when using the OKR method, you can create alignment, focus, clarity, and accountability.
And just to take you and give you a little bit of a history, OKRs were created by Andy Grove at Intel, and he actually worked on the then famous management by objectives framework, which was created by Peter Drucker. And he evolved the MBO framework into what now is called the OKRs. And like you saw in the video, the OKRs are how you track progress, create alignment, encourage employee engagement around some measurable goals. And we believe that OKRs are the new operating system that will help you drive organizational performance. Not only us, several companies have adopted OKRs as their platform for goal setting and performance management. Some of them include companies such as Google, Netflix, Amazon, LG, Siemens, LinkedIn, and many more. So let's take a look at an OKR example. What is an objective? An objective is a memorable, qualitative description of what you wish to achieve. It has to be short, inspirational, and engaging. An objective should also motivate and challenge your team and tell them why this objective is important and why it is important now. And then to achieve those objectives, key results are a set of metrics that measure your progress towards the objective. For each objective, you should have 2 to 5 key results, and these key results should always be quantitative and measurable. So when you apply the framework, we have seen organizations achieve 4 superpowers of successful transformation through OKRs. A successful transformation would mean it allows you to connect your strategy to execution and change your organization to think from output to outcomes. So let's look at what these 4 superpowers are. The first superpower is intense focus or radical focus, guiding and empowering every person to concentrate and prioritize their attention and activity to what is most valuable to the organization. And an organization where everyone is clear around what are the strategic priorities and objectives and why they matter now. Where the entire team is motivated towards an inspirational purpose and concentrating around executing those goals. And they're paying attention to the progress of those goals and how they contribute to the organization's strategic goals. So that's a big superpower. We call it intense focus. The second superpower is alignment. Organizations grow to become really big. They start working in silos. There is lack of transparency, and it creates confusion. So alignment would mean thinking and acting in unison towards strategic goals of the organization, where every employee is working in the same direction, in agreement how success is measured for a quarter, for a year, or for a particular cycle. And every employee is clear how they are contributing to their two teams' goals and eventually the organization's goals. They understand their individual contribution, and employees are spending time coordinating how their objectives and their goals relate and impact other team members and teams. This alignment also means that individuals have aligned with their supervisors and agree on specific success and measurable results that are expected from them. This alignment creates tremendous engagement and energy within the organization. The third superpower is orchestrating a battle rhythm. It's not about just chasing a nice shiny object today and then going to a different objective tomorrow. It is about having everyone consistently tracking and updating their weekly progress for transparency and accountability. It is about focusing on achieving results and regularly meeting the team, not just to look at what the status is, but to solve real problems, providing feedback, providing recognition to team members on a routine basis in a consistent manner, so that every element of your OKRs have the right amount of focus and execution effort being put in by each member of your team. And that's the third superpower. The fourth superpower is agility. The power of adapting to changing business dynamics quickly and easily, making sure you're taking your team along and explaining what is changing and how they need to adapt, where your entire organization is able to transition quickly to a new quarter, and a different quarter would look different than the previous quarter in terms of how the organization is adopting to the dynamic change in its business, where everyone in your organization and team takes time to reflect on your previous quarter or period to improve their next quarter. And everyone is able to learn to replan and quickly and execute quickly and effectively. So those are the 4 superpowers that help you achieve a successful OKR transformation: focus, alignment, rhythm, and agility. I have personally seen many organizations achieve their strategic objectives and grow faster than similar companies in the same industry or same category by use of OKRs and the proper implementation of the OKR framework in the organization. I have also seen, and this is my first-hand experience of implementing OKRs in my own organization, that we have changed the mindset of our team who were thinking about outputs are now thinking about outcomes. And that change in thought process is energizing to everyone. So now let's look at what and how OKRs can become your operating system, an operating system that drives performance in your organization. The first point is that making OKRs an operating system requires full commitment from top executives of the organization, business leaders, CEOs, because this is not only a tool implementation, it's a change management exercise as well. You should start using OKRs. When I started implementing OKRs, I found a lot of problems in the way OKRs were written and the way we were implementing it initially. But we valued progress over perfection, because as the organization started seeing the benefits, we saw many champions in the company who started perfecting the process. Third, like I said earlier, focus on the framework and not on the process or the software. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Focus on the framework and the process, not just on the software. A big mistake many companies have made is they believe in just buying some licenses of a software platform and believing that they will get all the benefits of an OKR system. I have seen a lot of pushbacks if the change management has not been planned well and the process is not clearly understood. I have seen pushbacks if you are not able to create OKR coaches and OKR champions within your team. So to make OKR successful, focus on the framework and the process of implementation or change. And finally, always maintain an outcomes first approach so that leaders have the space of thinking about why they need to prioritize certain goals. And you don't have to have them focus on the what and how of things. An outcomes first approach leads your team into innovative solutions to reach the final goal, as against just caring about what do they have to produce on a particular day. So that concludes today's session on OKRs and how you can make OKRs a successful operating system in your organization. I've provided my email address, and please do connect with me on LinkedIn. Our website, UnlockOKR.com. We have recently launched our platform, and we have also created a success playbook that helps us help our clients implement this framework. So reach out to me. We are in what we call a first-class program, where we are offering amazing benefits, discounts, and additional services to our first 25 clients. Feel free to reach out to me and set up a meeting with me so I can explain in great more detail about OKRs and my personal experience of having implemented it in my own organization. Thank you for joining in this session.
Thank you. Thanks for joining, and thanks for that quick snapshot into OKRs and explaining further more about them and understanding them. A great quick presentation from yourself there, and eager to ask you a few questions now, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So I guess a good place to start is to kind of put to you a question around kind of onboarding and adopting OKRs. If I was an organization that was kind of looking at OKRs to bring in and implement, what are the kind of questions that I should be asking myself, or what kind of questions should the organizations be looking at?
So it goes back to the 4 superpowers that I spoke about in the video. Mm-hmm. And if you reflect on those superpowers, mm-hmm. and you reflect on how are you doing on those in your organization, sure. And the response you get is, well, there is a misalignment. We end up focusing on too many things at the same time. Yeah. We have these strategic directions, but it does not yield results that we want to, or we don't have the right learning. Then those are great signs that an OKR platform would be beneficial to the organization.
Yeah. Nice. I really liked the slide when you were saying about when everything is a priority, nothing is a priority. And I'm sure a lot of people have been in those shoes and continue to be in those shoes. It's often overwhelming sometimes. So bringing those in, I'm sure, will help. And you also mentioned in your presentation about the companies like Google and Netflix that use OKRs, and you named quite a few like techie kind of organizations. Is this kind of principle and adoption open to kind of all industries, or should particular industries be focusing on it? Can any organization, I guess, bring it in?
Yeah, that's a great question. It started mostly with the tech industry earlier, so you see a adoption. But now in the last 2 years, we have seen different industries, brick and mortar industries, even insurance organizations and construction companies, all participating in the process. I was just with a large insurance organization, and I heard the CEO who had to retire has had an extension just to leave his legacy of implementing OKRs in his organization. Right. So a lot of old economy industries are also going in this process. Siemens is leading, and we are talking to several industries, healthcare and pharmaceutical segment, who are all implementing. Restaurants are implementing as well.
Sure, and obviously this is kind of a new platform as part of InfoPro Learning, and you obviously identified a need to bring this to the market. Has kind of the pandemic had an effect of what your customers and businesses as clients need and see, and is this a result of that?
Well, the result is actually we have been in the workforce transformation space for 25 years, solving just one problem. How do you improve organizational performance? Sure. And we end up looking at OKRs because this was something that we first implemented on ourselves, tested it out, and then we felt so good about it that we built a product and a playbook. To answer your question, post-pandemic, these challenges have increased. Alignment with people are working remote, focus, all these things the challenges have increased. And so most clients are looking for, can we find a solution that can address this? So yes, in short, there's a huge requirement that has started trickling in post-pandemic.